2023 wasn't a good year for the Carolina Panthers, but I'm trying to make 2024 a better one for myself. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including keto options, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Skip that overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door, and they're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Head to factormeals.com/C350 and use the promo code C350 to get 50% off. That's code C350 at factormeals.com/C350 to get 50% off.
Wonderful. A lot of feedback in the chat room. Ed Smith in the house tonight. Former NFL and MLB player, really helped us get an understanding. I think what was great about that, guys, about the discussion, guys, was beyond just the Arizona Cardinals. We got a little feel, too, about kind of the temperament and the temperature from going college to pro, from baseball to NFL. Really interesting stuff there. You guys are listening to the C3 Panthers podcast, brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. Every Tuesday night, we chop up the latest Panthers news and opinions. Go ahead and smash up the thumbs up button. There's 48 people. It's time to shame y'all mugs. It's the shaming. There are 49 people watching and only 30 thumbs up. There are 0 thumbs down. So thumbs up or thumbs down. I don't care which one it is. Hook us up. The number's 252-228-5098. Guys, is there really anything else at this point to talk about other than Cam Newton? Right?
No. I hate, and I'm sure the cat calls are going to cover a lot of Cam Newton talk.
Is this any different than any week of our whole history of this podcast? Cam Newton is the story every week, even when he's not the story. He is the story. Here, let's go on to the cat calls and see where you guys are at. And tell me if we heard this one already.
Nope. I just wanted to call in before the show, get my call in. I know there's a lot of anxiety over what's going to go on with our team being 0-2, with Cam looking like he's not going to play on Sunday. And I know some people are probably thinking, we should probably get Kaepernick, which I don't know. I feel like if any team is going to do it, probably the Panthers, considering Tepper went out and got Eric Reid last year. But I want to say, to be optimistic, I know everybody's probably not very optimistic on these calls, but to be optimistic, we played 2 games where we really should have won. And it just comes down to a couple of plays that weren't executed well that ended up doing it. We have a good team. We just need to fix the mistakes and be more consistent. And I know that's been the calling card for maybe the last few years. But we also are in a good position due to the Saints losing. And I don't like to wish any kind of ill will towards any quarterbacks, but Drew Brees going down, it might help us a little bit. So I hope he recovers well, but if those 6 weeks, if he can extend that 6 weeks out for a little bit, that'd be nice. The Falcons, they should have lost. That game was crazy. The Eagles almost pulled through. We are really just one game back from the Saints and the Falcons. And the Bucks. And the Bucks. I forget that they're in our division sometimes, even though they just lost one.
Except they just beat our ass.
Except for when they beat us.
Keep
pounding. Great call from Jedi Jor. And listen, I think that's a good transition into what we need to be talking about. And I'm going to ask everyone in the chat room and my 2 co-hosts here, do any of you have any faith that either one of the backups coming in, either Kyle Allen or Will Grier, are going to be able to not even finish out the season or playoffs, none of that. Let's say Cam Newton is out 4 games in a row. Are you confident that either one of those quarterbacks at least bring us even one W? It's a legitimate question. Answer it however you feel necessary.
I think they definitely can. I don't see any reason why they couldn't. But, I mean, you got to think about it like this. I'm sure that when Tom Brady came in, they felt the same way. They didn't think he was going to do what he did. Same way with Nick Foles. Lots of different backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, but Kyle Allen looked like trash forever.
No, I give you that. But my thing is, here's my kind of counter to that is, what if they do come in? What if Kyle Allen comes in and throws for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns and wins the game? Then what are we going to do?
Yeah, then
not going to happen. It don't matter. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of people in the chat, and Nova Black told me this earlier, that he said yes, that we can get some W's with some of these backups. This is you brought up.
I think we have to get them in a different way, guys.
But you brought up an interesting scenario, and again, we're talking about fairy tales at this point. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. But if Will Grier or Kyle Allen comes in and starts to ball out and we start to win football games, then from an organizational standpoint, would you even want Cam Newton to come back in that scenario?
All right, so here's the problem. Here's the problem with this comparison, right, is that if the question is, can Kyle Allen or anybody come and win us some games, then the answer is yes, right? It's because you can get Fitzpatrick, anybody, Case Keenum, right? They're Band-Aids on a short term, right? And so what I mean by that is that, look, here's the problem. You guys asked it. We said this earlier in the show, and I do think there is some merit to this when it comes to Norv Turner and this coaching staff. How can you win when your quarterback can't complete a 5-yard pass? When he can't, and that has really been the problem with Cam at this point that we have been so frustrated with. And for last year, it was we didn't see big plays, but we saw competent plays. What we have seen right now has been incompetent. So you can't even just call a straight like, hey, the guy's wide open. Like, how can Norv Turner really call a game? I think here is the deal that Kyle Allen, see, I can't even remember his freaking name. That's the point. Is that when you coach Cam, you're coaching for this opportunity to run to the end. You're coaching a horse, if we're thinking of like a thoroughbred, that can win the race, right? He can actually win the Kentucky Derby. If you're coaching Kyle Allen, you can come in 6. You might place every now and then. And so what I mean by that is I actually think in the short term, yes, is that here, if this thing with Cam is temporary, if we can get by, if Cam comes in and that is not what I have heard, guys. I have not had that feeling. You have a feeling like this. As long as the Saints can hold pat until Drew Brees gets back, they're okay. As long as they don't lose it. I don't know if I feel like is that I do believe Kyle Allen or any schmuck can come in. You got Christian McCaffrey. You got a defense that's been playing great. It's going to help the defense by having a quarterback that can complete a couple of passes and do some things. But I don't think you have the upside. It's like you have a lower floor, but you have I don't know how to say it. And I just believe that you might be able to win 1 or 2 games, but does that matter in the end if you can't really make a run? Is it really matter if we bring in a guy and we go 8-9 and back into the playoffs and get smashed?
Draft 15th, yeah.
Does it really?
This is kind of the point that I'm getting at. If we're at this point, then okay, Cam is not a fast starter. So we need some time to turn it on. So if he misses next week and then the next week after that, and then let's say we go 1-1 in that time period, so that means we're 1-3, then he has to come back. I mean, 3 losses, we're already talking about, we're sitting on the outside of the division. And then if you have a quarterback that is at least completing passes, moving the ball, getting into a rhythm with the offense, with the receivers. All of these
It
things
helps.
take time. All of these things take time. So if you're going to put the backups in those positions to start to build a rhythm and then just rip them away when Cam Newton is starting to come back, you're setting your offense back 2 steps every time you take a step forward.
I get that. Yeah.
So that's why I'm at the mindset right now that it's like if Cam Newton isn't healthy and ready to go right now, what comes next isn't any better.
Well, is that the question? Is he not healthy now and he can be healthy, right? Because that we can work with.
Make him healthy.
We can work with that. But the real fear is that you can't weather any storm.
Right.
And if that is the question, and I think that has come down to the tone of what I have heard so far from the organization, guys, is I feel like this is if the organization felt really good about Cam Newton, his mental health, his spiritual health, his physical health, they're like this. Look, the foot is a unforeseen setback, and it's bullshit. It sucks, but we're gonna do what we got to do to get him right, and then we're gonna get back in this. We had a tough start. It's gonna suck for a little. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. But I don't have that feeling from this, or not. It's not a feeling for me. I haven't heard any words that just say this. Look, Cam Newton is fucked up right now, and he's gonna get better. It has been like,
Yeah, I'd like to hear that. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with he has a sprained ankle, 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah. Give us a timetable. At least we have something to look forward to. I agree. The not knowing is what's killing. 100%. I agree with you on that.
Legacy has a
so hard. It's the hardest question ever.
Tony, are we really going to do what's right with Cam Newton? And it
What's
goes
that?
back to this.
I don't know what that is.
The people that are in charge, I don't trust. I don't trust Ron Rivera to make the and listen. I do want to mention something.
I think some of this is Cam's personality, guys. I think Cam, we are giving a complete pass to Cam. There's something wrong with him spiritually at this moment.
I mean, and see, we go back to the Andrew Luck thing. I want Cam Newton to do what's best for him. So if Cam doesn't love this anymore, if he wants to go and do some other shit, if football has taken a toll on the man's body, I'm not going to do what those Colts fans did to Andrew Luck and turn on him and boo him and burn jerseys and all this.
Oh, no.
Shit.
Cam made us who we are.
But
Well, if he does it 2 weeks before the season, I might. But
right, well, I understand. But my point is, if Cam doesn't want to do this, then yeah, he needs to say that to someone who matters, to Rivera or Tepper or whatever. If he's not going to be healthy, let him have the time to heal up, let him come back, and then it's time to hit the ground rolling. If not, then I promise you, whether you want to hear it or not, at the end of next season, we're looking for another franchise quarterback.
Here is Ron Rivera on the injury. Just listen to this, guys.
Part
all right.
all week.
Do you know if he was around here or Atlanta or some combination?
Well, he was getting his treatment this week.
Did he have to undergo X-ray, MRI?
I don't know all that detail.
How do you not know that? Shut up.
As far as timeout, do you know how long?
I have no idea. What he's going to do is he's going to get his treatment, and we'll see how he feels, and we'll adjust it as we go around.
And that just pisses me off, man.
Sounds lazy.
This sounds like Cam. No, this. Hold on, here it
This is
goes.
with him, and
like
he's going to
Ron's
do everything he
reasons,
can to
okay.
get back out as soon as he can.
If Cam isn't able to go, do you anticipate
Joe Person asked him, "Have you seen? Was Cam in Atlanta? Was he in L.A.?" They're highlighting the hat maker in L.A. What I feel like is it, and I'm gonna give Ron a little leash on this because, yes, is Ron trying to keep his job? Sure he is, But he's also, you know how he keeps his job? By winning fucking games. So it's like, let's not act like he's trying to do something like shisty here. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to win. But here is they asked Cam, the first question was Cam in places that were basically unrelated to football? And the second thing is Cam's walking out there with no boot. It came to light afterwards. Okay, so maybe you knew the foot was still bothering him. But, guys, we watched the damn game. Yes, he looked hobbled in some ways, but it didn't look like he couldn't walk. There's something strange going on in the neighborhood. And who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. I don't know. But that comment from Ron Rivera right there, to me, doesn't seem like just a coach who has been who's frustrated that things aren't working out. It almost seems like a coach that is frustrated by, like, he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Not because he's entirely inept, but because it is cryptic.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Greg.
I was gonna say what you were saying earlier, Cody, about the Cam and you want him to do the best thing for him, and how, you know, if he doesn't want to do this anymore, that's fine. But all I got to say about that is, man, there was a point in time where Superman didn't want to do what he was doing, and he stepped down, and then he realized that the world needed him, and he came back. He found himself and came back. I'm hoping that my Superman does that.
Greg, tell them where they can learn about the next level of this thought at.
By the way, I want to pinpoint something. A comment in our chat room, and I feel like we kind of laughed this off, but I feel that maybe there might be something to this. Jake Delhomme says it's Cam's soy diet. It decreases testosterone.
I saw that. Yeah.
Now, listen,
did Jake Delhomme really say that? The real Jake Delhomme?
In our chat.
Okay.
And that is Jake Delhomme, which
I don't know.
I believe this. I am with him 100%, guys.
I feel like we haven't talked about that enough. I mean,
eat a fucking raw steak. He has turned into a cuckold.
A lot of shit for being the salad boy.
Yeah.
And now Cam Newton is a salad boy.
He's total vegan too, right?
Yeah, vegan, not eating any meat.
He needs a cheeseburger and some pussy. Sorry, ladies. I'm sorry, but when he was good with Kia,
so we'll see some relations. How about that?
Well, he has he has a baby on the way. So
I continue to say this is Tiger Woods fell off when he didn't have prostitutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really true. It's like at some point, but here, listen to this. Tell me there's not saltiness in this comment from Rivera.
The short term and getting the best quarterback on the field and putting Cam on the field versus ensuring that he's healthy long term and preserving him for the next weeks, years.
Well, I think at the end of the day, nobody will know better than him. So my job really will be to handle the players that are playing, handle the quarterback situation as it goes. And until we know that, Kyle Allen, if he's going to end up playing as our starter, he'll be our starter.
Surely there's a form of frustration, getting this kind of news, but do you even have time to get frustrated, or is it just roll your eyes and move on?
A little bit of both, and obviously be frustrated with the questions I get about it, but it is what it is.
Frustrated by the questions.
Okay, this is my
the truth of the matter is,
shut the fuck up, Ron. All right, but think about this. He said, "I can only coach the people on the field, Cody." That's what he said.
The only thing that people
There's something
know about is Cam Newton. The only thing any of us care about right now is the health of Cam Newton. How much they knew about the injury, how much they didn't know about the injury, what's going on with our only chance in hell at being a good football team. And then you have the audacity to get pissed off at the people doing their job, asking the questions that people want to know. Like, listen, man, I know that you're not a fan of this part of your job, but just like everyone came down on Cam Newton after the Super Bowl when he missed out on the press conference, Ron Rivera deserves to get all the shit in the world for throwing temper tantrums when people ask him legitimate fucking questions.
True that.
Questions that people want to know. Shut up, have a Coke and a smile, and answer the damn question, and have a shred of honesty in your answer.
Yeah, but people could say that about Cam too.
Sure, and you know what? It's true.
Like-
for
Well, they
everyone.
do say it about Cam, but seriously, doesn't that sound like a guy? He said, "I can only coach the guys who are available." What I hear from that is Cam is unavailable, and I don't think that is just physically. I think
you're
he's
right. That's kind of a fourth wall statement right there, where he's kind of saying something behind what he's saying. You know?
Yeah, is that you're trying to tell me Cam is unavailable? Yeah, he's not playing. So you can't coach him? You don't expect he's going to come back? Like you don't have a fucking relationship with him? You don't have anything, and you have no idea is he bad? Is he worse? Is he this? And Cam has been missing in action essentially for 5 days. That's what I interpret it as. Now, there have been no reports that he's been missing in action. But here, you put a couple of these pieces together. Joe Person says, where has he been at? Has he been in Atlanta and L.A. or whatever he said? There is a certain kind of distance that is associated with that. And I think I want to give Ron a little, not pass on this, but if he's working with a guy that is problematic, and look, I'm a Cam dude, so for me even saying that is ridiculous. I don't believe it. We saw the all or nothing, but there's something behind the scenes we don't understand. Let's go to the next call. You're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast. The number is 252-228-5098. Let's see what you guys got to say.
What up, C3? It's Killer Cam from Nashville again. I forgot one thing I wanted to talk to y'all about. Cam's passion, his energy, for the game, it seems like it's lacking right now. He's not smiling.
Yes,
he's not signaling on first down. He don't look like he's having any fun. Somebody stole that man's lunch. He just doesn't know what's going on. I've just never seen this version of Cam Newton before. He doesn't look like he's having fun. He doesn't seem to be enjoying himself. He don't look like the same football player I'm accustomed to. And I don't know if that injury, if he lost his mojo, I don't know what it is. But he said he needs to do some soul searching in the mirror, and by God, I hope he does it. That's all. That's the only other point I wanted to bring up. Again, appreciate everything y'all do. I'll be tuning in. Y'all see me in the chat. Love you guys. Peace out.
Nice.
Appreciate you, Cam.
Great call
what
there.
I was saying earlier. Huh?
Yeah, great call.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I was saying earlier. He looks like he's lost the passion. Hey, real quick, before we go on to the next call, I want to point this out because I have a feeling we're going to get a few calls that mention this whole Kaepernick thing. Okay? I'm not against Kaepernick because of anything that he did with social injustice or the way he stood for anything. That's his deal. I'm against Kaepernick because the last time we saw him, he was garbage. Okay? And the last time we saw him, he was garbage was 2016 or 17? Well, guess what quarterbacks retired then? Michael Vick, Tony Romo, and Jay Cutler. Would you be arguing for one of those guys to come back and play right now in place of Cam? Because they played just as well as he did last time Kaepernick was in the league. That's my thing. Is not a matter of him as a person. It's a matter of he was garbage last time he played, and he hasn't played in almost 3 years.
Thoughts,
Do you
Cody?
really want to put your like fight for him to come back and play for us? Just saying.
I think the only argument against that is that he's younger than a Vic and a Cutler.
Yeah, like way younger.
The song remains the same. If it's Kaepernick having to learn a brand new Norv Turner offense over guys that are on the team that are struggling, it's like, a rock and a hard place. Take your pick. Even if Kaepernick has more talent, does he equal more victories at this point than someone else on the market or the guys that we have on the team? And
I got the answer when it comes to Kaepernick.
I want to hear it.
Is that if this would have happened in week 8 and we were 6-2, then hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like at that point, we feel like we got one of the most talented rosters we've had. Guys, we had a crazy amount of optimism going in. We tried to hold it back, but I know I had it underneath. And I said, man, this defense has, when you saw Brian Burns balling, you're like, all of a sudden he could be awesome. Shaq is looking good. You got all this stuff on the defense. You're like, holy shit. There's real pieces here. It's all about Cam Newton's health. If Cam would have come out here and played 6 games been just fucking doing his thing, not even dominating, but us winning. Then I say, it's time to bet on today. It's time to bet on today. But right now at 0-2, here's my thing with Kaepernick, and the reason I'm not saying I'm against it. I actually don't give a shit. Like, bring him in because he's going to be way better than Kyle Allen. I promise you that.
Maybe. He hadn't played for a year. You don't know.
Well, he might not be ready better from day one, but Kyle Allen is not good. But
and can I mention this?
My point is I feel like at this point right now, it's going to be lost. You know what I'm saying? Even if he brought him in and he was better than they said, it's still lost. Like, he's not. And if this was week 10 and we had an opportunity and Cam's coming back, what if it was week 6 and we said, hey, Cam's going to be out for 4 weeks? I don't know. Right now, I think if Cam goes down and it's a serious thing that, like, we're worried about his mental health, his physical health, whatever it is, and we're not looking for him to come back, we're screwed. Just that. It doesn't matter.
This is my final thing I want to say before we move on to the next cat call. Will Grier was a wasted pick because
we've been saying that.
If the man cannot beat out Kyle Allen, then what would have been the problem going with Kyle Allen and Taylor Heineke as the 2 quarterbacks on the roster? If this is Cam Newton's last year as a Panther, then let's go out and get a first-round talent. Let's get a Justin Herbert, or let's wait for a Trevor Lawrence. If Will Grier is not the answer this year, then it was a wasted pick, and we could have put better pieces on the football team. But instead, we have a perennial backup.
All right, next call.
What up, C3 fam? It's Killer Cam from Nashville. You know I'm out here stuck in traffic. Oh, man, I couldn't call in after the game last Thursday. I was too heartbroken, too depressed, too embarrassed to be a Panthers fan. No, not really, but it was a tough one. From that 4th and 1 that Cam got right at the beginning, that for whatever reason they couldn't they reviewed it and it wasn't across the line, but it so clearly was. I guess because of the weather, they only had 2 cameras or some shit like that. I don't know. Officiating was suspect. Cam's play was worse. Norv Turner's play calling was even worse than Cam's play, I think. I mean, I don't know. It's easy to say now that nothing worked, but Cam was missing layups. We can't miss layups. But there was a report that came out today that said Cam was hurt. That foot is not right, and, he's questionable for week 3. So I guess if there's any silver lining, I'm glad that he's hurt. I'm glad there's an excuse for that piss-poor performance we saw on Thursday, which was definitely the worst game he's ever had in Carolina. I mean, maybe of his professional career. I mean, I
think of his lifetime career.
Maybe.
It's very disappointing there, but I'm going to give him one more week. I know it's hard. I'm going to give him one more week. I'm going to give him one more chance. Otherwise, I'm buying a Luke Kuechly jersey. I ain't putting that shit back on. I love Cam to death. I've been a Cam supporter since he got here. I've made tons of – he's never had any receivers. Look how many drops they've had. We've got no O-line, this and that. I've made all the excuses, but I can't do it anymore. And I'm glad that y'all are kind of on the same page. I feel all of y'all's thoughts. Y'all do a great job every week. Appreciate you. Want to see your thoughts on Arizona. Looking forward to tuning in tonight. And, yeah, man, keep pounding. We love you guys.
Will Cam Newton be on this roster in 2020?
100%. 100%.
100? Let me tell you this. Let me just give you one figure before you give your full answer. Next year, he's due to make $18 million in salary, $2 million guaranteed. If you cut him next year, you lose $2 million. That's it. So what I'm saying is that the answer to this question is, do you believe Cam Newton will be right or wrong? Because if he's wrong, there is no sense in keeping him next year. There is no sense in paying him $23 million, which is not a lot for a quarterback, like Cody intimated, but it is a lot for a backup quarterback. And I had a guy at work who has been a Cam hater since forever, But he came into my office today and he said this. He said, Cam Newton will not be on the roster next year. Write it down. And for the first time ever, I said to him, I want to fucking fight you, but I'm not ready to. I mean, seriously, think about that. We have $2 million in dead money. That's it.
Yeah.
If Cam Newton doesn't get right, is he a Panther next year?
Well, there's so many things that go into this, Tony. Okay, first of all, I have a hard time with anybody who's saying they've been a Cam supporter and Cam fan, and I have been too the whole time. And then after two games, we've had 2 games this season, they're saying they're giving him one more chance, and that's it. For me, that's kind of tough. Like, you're telling me after 3
is the
games,
one more
you
chance
totally give up on him?
Is the one more chance though just the season? What I'm saying is this: I'm not ready. I was ready to come into this show and tell you guys how everything was going to be all right tonight, because I stand with Cam, and I was ready to be all of that. But my question is, if things aren't right with Cam by the end of the season, is he a Panther next year?
I think so. Cody, what do you think?
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. So, Greg, I understand what you're saying, right? But people that have followed, my opinions on this show know how I feel about Cam Newton. I grew up liking football.
I'm gay for him.
You said before, I believe you. But you know what? I gave up on football all together at one point in my life, and the only reason I'm a Panther fan now, or what reinvigorated my love for football, is Cam Newton. I'm as big a fan as you can imagine, but I'm a realist, man. This doesn't feel like another injury. It's he'll be fine. He'll be back. I wish I felt that way. I wish to God that I felt that way. But it goes back to this. We have a brand new owner who spent $2 billion on a football team. There are too many talented quarterbacks coming out in the draft in the next 2 years to stay with Cam Newton if Cam's heart is not in this. If it's not in this, then we need to move on. If Cam Newton still is ready to tear up the NFL, then yeah, let's roll. I don't feel we have the coaches to do it, but I'm on team Cam Newton. But I'm a realist, and I don't know if it'll be unless we have an awesome season and turn it around. I don't know that he'll be on the team.
Okay, there's 2 things I want to say. That one, I get totally where you're coming from, but there's no guarantee that if we decided to draft a quarterback next year that he's going to be the what fixes the problem. Because I don't think the quarterback position, other than him playing bad this season because of injury, has been the problem. You got to protect him. You got to have support around him. He's never had that. Okay.
100%.
2, I don't think that. I think everybody's judging Will Grier too quickly. I get he didn't have a good preseason, but go
He's
back.
He's also 25, dude. He's old.
Go
He's
back
already
to
old.
Cam Newton's first preseason, and tell me if you think he's going to be an MVP one day. I'm telling you, you can't judge somebody by their first preseason. Now, he may not turn out to be the best player, but I'm not going to pass judgment on him after the first preseason he had. Just me personally.
Yeah, that's fair. That's 100% fair too. I think my main point is that on the depth chart, but again, we're talking about Ron Rivera, so this might lend to your point. The fact that he hasn't beaten out Kyle Allen yet. I think David Tepper and Hurney wanted to draft him for this very scenario. Cam Newton isn't healthy, and we need someone to be able to come in and play. And as of right now, that's not Will Grier, that's Kyle Allen.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep pounding with the calls. There's like 40 of them.
Hi guys, Rich in London a couple of days after the last phone call. So there we go. After 9 months, we're 2 weeks into the season and we're fucked already. No Cam Newton at practice. Sounds like he's hurt his foot again. You're going to be talking about this the whole time. There's clearly something's wrong. And I don't know in what way. I mean, it's all going to be speculation, but not just the foot, but the demeanour. And I support Cam like as everybody. Actually, no, I'm not even going to go into the stats. It's not about that. It's that there's something wrong with Cam mentally. They're not wanting to run for whatever reason, and we don't know. But discuss it, find out, see what anybody thinks. Ask your audience. Don't know, but what makes him exceptional? The hundreds of yards of rushing every year, the 4th and 1, and the leaping for the goal line. And to see none of that last week, and now he's not at practice because he's hurt. Does he go to IR? Maybe. It's such a pity because it looked like he had such a good potential this year. First 2 games have been fairly horrible, but Twitter world is going, start next year, clean slate. Ron, I think Ron, I don't know, I might be repeating myself because I can't remember what I said the other night. Ron's one of those guys, he's a good coach, but not a good head coach for a game. So I'd imagine helping people in the background and improving them. But yeah, it's all falling apart after 2 games. Who knows? Maybe we'll go 6-2 on the Kyle Allen show. I'm not an F-150 glasses wearing fish holder. But Kyle Allen found Curtis Samuel deep last year against the Saints. Yeah, they weren't great, but that secondary is probably no worse than what we're going to face in the Cardinals. So if Cam isn't fit, I'm all in on Kyle versus Kyler, and hopefully we're better than them. God knows. Anyway, looking forward to the pod coming up tomorrow, guys. You do a great job, and keep pounding everybody. Cheers.
Man, gosh, these calls are tough. Let's keep going.
Hey guys, Josh from Mass. Ooh. So a few things have happened since I called the other day. I felt the need to call again and touch upon it. Don't mean to be so greedy with the time, but, things need to be said. Lo and behold, Cam Newton was playing hurt the whole time. Foot's still messed up. I'm not surprised. I don't think anybody should be surprised. The lack of design run plays, that not calling him to run the ball on 4th and 1 and, try to go up and over the top. I think even a certain degree of the passing inaccuracies have a good bit to do with that. However, that's not really the meat and potatoes of my call. The meat and potatoes of my call is the fact that, yet again, we get another Ron Rivera playing dumb at a press conference. It's like, dude, the cat's already out of the bag as of almost an hour before you went up there. Just spill the beans. What's going on?
Thank you.
Thank you. Why are we playing these games? What's with the nonsense?
Is the sky falling, or should we be okay?
The fact, I didn't know till after Thursday's game. Bullshit. Bullshit. And if you don't know how to talk to your players in a way that can get them to yield that type of critical information to you, then you don't need to be a head coach.
This is the best call of the
night. Full stop. That's it. Yeah. I'm willing to now die on this hill alongside Cody. Ron needs to go. Norv needs to go. That's it. Marty, he can stay another year. I like the way he drafts. He made some pretty aggressive moves in free agency.
Yeah, he's done everything right. Marty Arnie's done everything
Ron
right.
And Norv, they got to go.
Except for Greer.
It's subpar. It's sub-average. And right now, we're fixing to look like the laughing stock of the league by week 4. That just don't fly with me. 25 years. And this is what we fans get. I hope Tepper hears some of this tonight because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of it. Keep pounding.
All right, Malachi May brings this up. He says this, and we've got it. Cody, you have laid it out as GM. Malachi Mabe says this. Discuss who should be a good fit for us as head coach. Lay it out there.
So listen, and I know Tony wants to hear this, but this is I put this on Twitter yesterday. I say you go to Lincoln Riley, who produced the last 2 Heisman Trophy winners, and it's looking like well, okay, but that gets into a whole nother discussion, and it's looking like a whole nother
a third one.
But
he didn't develop Hurts though.
Well, he didn't develop Hurts, but Jalen Hurts did not look how he looks playing for Nick Saban though.
True. I mean,
I'll say that
he was a Heisman candidate, national championship guy.
I want a savant.
Well, I don't think Hurts was a Heisman contender at Alabama, but because
he played defense. He played defense in the SEC. He doesn't play defense in the conference in right now. That's a given. Like, there's no defense in that conference.
Talking about Vanderbilt and Arkansas.
And it was 2 years
I
younger.
don't know if the drop offs are that different, but listen, I'm going to Lincoln Riley, and I'm saying to him, turn around Cam Newton's career, put him in an offense that utilizes the man for the talents that he has. And then if it doesn't work out, you have your pick of quarterback, whoever you want to draft for your offense. You have your free reign, and you have a grace period of a year or two to bring this offense up to where you want it to be.
Okay.
I would offer him, and this is just me with my real GM hat on, a 5-year contract, $35 million, $7 million per year. That's $2 million more than he makes at Oklahoma, and it gives him some insurance and one of the better contracts in the NFL right now. If he wins the Super Bowl, rip up the contract and pay him more money.
Double, guaranteed double.
I want a coach that is able to utilize Cam Newton, and if not, I want to run a modern day offense. I'm not saying don't play defense.
This would have worked 5 years ago.
Yeah, we should have done this a long time ago. There's a reason Matt Ryan was an MVP under Shanahan and never since. Play calling is so important. It's so important. And you have to have a competent mind calling the plays. Sean McVay. Jared Goff is a mediocre quarterback, but you wouldn't know it because of the coordinator.
Well, and because he's got one of the best running backs in the league, and some
he's
different
got Todd
things.
Gurley, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Brandon Cooks. It's a little more than just that, but
right. Well, that's what you should do. You should put talent around your young quarterback.
I would say
when you have a quarterback on a rookie contract, you can do that. Because he's on a rookie contract.
And Lincoln Riley's resume is just as good as Cliff Kingsbury's.
Better.
It's just
better.
Exactly. So here but the only thing I disagree with Cody's take on this is that right now I don't know if I think 2 years ago you could have said that to somebody. You say, look, we got Cam Newton. We have fucked him. We haven't put an offensive line in front of him. We haven't put talent on him. We want you to make him what he was supposed to be. But right now, I think what we have seen, and yes, it's only 2 games in. Things are going to change around. But you can't go to anybody right now and be like, make Cam Newton MVP.
I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? That doesn't fly. So I like the idea. I'm rooting for Lincoln Riley because, look, he was offensive coordinator for the East Carolina Pirates. That's my alma mater. We were awesome with him. He was fantastic. He made Coach Ruffin McNeil fantastic. When he left, Coach Ruff dropped off a lot. He is amazing. He's a savant. There are questions. Will it translate? I think those are real questions for anybody. But if anybody was going to translate, I think he's just as good as candidate as anybody. But yeah, is that is I think, and who brought it up? Who asked that question in the chat room? I think it was Malachi Mabe.
Yep.
Malachi Mabe. Is that here again? This always comes back to our discussions with quarterbacks. I mean, with head coaches. It's not only about firing a head coach; it's about hiring one as well. Here's our next call.
Okay.
Exactly. Who are you going to replace him with?
Hey, C3, Kenny B here from Greensboro, and I want to start out by
Thanking you guys again for being the best Panthers podcast that I can find out there anywhere. And I thought about calling in Thursday night after the game, but I wanted to take that heartbroken feeling and put it in a bottle basically and kind of stew on it for a few days and kind of see how I felt after a few days. And I wanted to call in and kind of, give you guys my thoughts. And Cody, I 100% standing on that hill with you. Ron Rivera, Norv Turner, I'm ready for them to hang up the hat. And when I say that, looking at, you were talking about Ron Rivera just doesn't seem like he has control. He doesn't, I just don't see that. And when I think of that, I think of other coaches that I see that do demand that authority, like Tom Coughlin used to do with the Giants, Bill Cowher, and Bill Belichick even, and they just demand that level of respect, and they have that authority and control within their organization. I just don't think that Ron Rivera has that. The other thing that I kind of came to conclusion with Cam Newton was that if you take the whole Panther fan base, and you ask them, they either love Cam Newton and they defend him or they hate him. And the people that have not liked Cam Newton, they haven't liked him for years. They didn't like him putting his towel on his head. They didn't like him sitting on the sideline, not looking at a computer, iPad when he's not in the game. They didn't like him, after his post-game Super Bowl. They don't like the way he dresses. So they've been like that for a very long time. I would say that probably 30 to
chat. Tony, do you hear us?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, there's no audio. They can't hear us.
Okay, yeah, because how long? For how long?
I don't know. They just said lost audio.
Yeah, I hear a bunch of it. Or see a bunch of it.
Did you guys hear that call?
We did, and it cut off.
Okay.
Good call.
All right, well, here. We'll listen to the end. Here's the end.
That probably 30 to 50% of Panther fans still defend Cam Newton, love Cam Newton, and believe in him. But after listening to Thursday's calls, I feel like Cam Newton has dug himself into a huge hole, and I don't know how he's going to get out. Because all those calls were saying, I love Cam Newton, but I can't support him anymore. Even with this whole thing coming out with the foot is still sore, I don't know how much that helps his cause. I just feel like Cam Newton just looks like a shell of his old self. See what you guys think. Excited to hear for the next one, guys. Thanks.
I've never been worried. This is what it is. I have never, ever been worried about Cam. Like, I always thought this is that he wasn't a weak spot on our team.
Agreed.
This is the first time I've ever worried. And, like, I just, you know what my worry is? It's not about, my worry is that I'm not going to see the Cam I knew again. That's my fear. My fear is that not that Cam can't come, like, am I going to see it? Am I going to see it on this team and all of this? It's been so long, Greg. You said it earlier. It's been a long time since we've seen Cam Newton. I'm never worried about him. I'm shook, dude. I'm shook.
Well, you know what it feels like? and this is going to be a weird comparison, but it feels like you're in high school, and like say you're a football player in high school, and you're dating the hottest, most beautiful cheerleader, the most popular girl, and it's great while you're in high school, but then y'all are both getting ready to go to college and take that next step, and you're about to go there, but she's just stupid and she can't do it. That's kind of what I feel like.
But she's gonna work at the car wash. She's gonna work at the car wash. Shit.
A bikini car wash at that.
Hey, you didn't date the hottest cheerleader? Fucking weirdos.
Right.
Man, this is Jeremy from Swansville, a.k.a. Mr. Frost. I woke up this morning, I said to myself, I'm going to have a good day. I'm not going to let last night's game bother me.
That's how I felt.
Stretch out, walk out in my living room, see my Cam Newton jersey laying there, and I just wanted to throw up. Oh, my God, what's going on? I got to ask myself, is this really the end of our season already? Is this what we're got to look forward to? Well, I can pull out one good thing out of it. Some major changes are coming. They're very much needed. I guess it's time to rebuild. Keep pounding.
Gosh, sad. That's sad.
You know, it's bad when I have my friend who's a Colts fan. Sorry, a Colts fan trying to cheer me up and tell me, come on, guys, the season's not over. When they just lost their quarterback. I have a Colts fan trying to cheer me up.
Yeah, I know.
So.
Yeah, them's the breaks.
Oh, I knew. All right, so I've been thinking about this. I've been continuing to talk about how Cam Newton, we've heard this. We've heard shell of a man. I said this. I really believe somebody's body snatched Cam Newton. I do think there may be merit to the diet thing at this point. Now, I don't know anything about diets and all of that. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to be scientific on this, but I think I messaged you and Joey this, Cody, is that Cam went from being the man, like from being a top to a bottom. That's a gay reference, right? But a top from right. He went from being an alpha to a cuck. And there's something not right about that. Like, it's something spiritual in there. And I don't know if it's testosterone. I don't know if we got to send him to the low T clinic or if it's with Kia Proctor. But I need the alpha dog back. I need the dude who just says this is, fuck it, my foot falling off, but I still am better than all y'all motherfuckers. And that's where this injury thing isn't really compelling to me, is because the guy that I know could have played with a broken leg, and I don't want him to play with a broken leg. That's not what I'm saying. But he would have been. But he would have been better than he is right now. Yeah. So tough. Don't be a cuck. Lesson in life. Numbers 25222. Well, I guess if you're into that kind of thing, then you would retire and study architecture. But next. Here's the next call.
What's going on, guys?
I'm gonna get a beer too.
Another bad loss. Tell you what, Cody, I'll say this. I didn't want to believe you about Darrell Williams, but man, you're spot on. Like, wow, that was ugly. That was ugly. The whole game was ugly, pretty much. I actually thought Mike Shula got back into the offensive coordinator's box.
I'm telling you.
What the crap were they doing? This was terrible. Absolutely terrible. And I try to back the coaches. But, I mean, after that, how can you? How can you? Anyways, Cam looks
Space New Hill.
And I'm not ready to jump on the wagon of get him out of here. He's never going to be Cam Newton again, and he may not. We don't know. He's still recovering from surgeries. And I know that the excuses have ran a long time with Cam Newton, because you either get a really high Cam or a real low Cam. There's not a whole lot of in between when it comes to Cam Newton. And he either made what the crap kind of throws last night, or, now that's what I'm talking about. That's a throw right there in the NFL. But for some reason, there's no median. There's no, I can be consistent right now. And I don't know what that is. You know, a lot of people want to say it's because he's not running, and maybe that's the case. At the same time, you're running when the game's on the line. Good God. Anyway, right now all I know is the play call that was called the last play of the game last night was telling Pepper, hey, I'm here, fire me, because I don't know what I'm doing anymore. You do not run that play at that part of the game. I don't care. When you got number one back there, hey, you got a broke ankle? Jump.
Yeah.
Hike the ball and fall forward like Tom Brady. And
He said, if you got a broke ankle, jump. That's like the last advice you give to anybody with a broke
I love
ankle.
you guys. You're always on point. And that's just my take for this frustrating game. And I hope we can turn it around. Cam Newton can somehow get consistent and start moving a little bit. And the offensive line, please block. Go ahead and put Little in, by the way, because you can't get no worse than what Darrell Williams showed last time.
That actually is what we need to talk about next. All right, big shout out to D'Angelo Del Legend. You are a legend. Donating to keep the podcast going and keep growing, bringing you guys.
He asked a question. He asked me 3 times. I want to at least tell him. He mentions the Chiefs offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, who started as a running back coach. And that, honestly, Eric Bieniemy is the name I wanted at the end of last season when I was calling for Ron Rivera's job. So I'm well aware of Eric. That would probably be my first choice of coaches in the NFL right now that I know of that are going to be available. I mean, anyone coming from the Chiefs right now, I mean, they're not all Andy Reid, but I do like that they come from a progressive passing system. But thanks for the $5, man.
Yeah. Oh man. Thank you for the support, Greg. The question about this, Darrell Williams, because I know both Cody and I feel passionate about or our takes on it. We don't know what the right take is, and we certainly didn't know going in to the season because we don't have the tape and the film and the whatever it is that not the tape and the film, but the interaction like the coaches do. But what are your thoughts on Darrell Williams at left tackle and the move there and how it's working out?
I think it's not his natural position. I think he showed that last week, and he's really done a bad job. Y'all know that since I saw something today. I think it was since like 2013. Cam Newton's had a different left tackle every year.
Yeah,
which is absolutely insane to ask a quarterback to do. I think Greg Little's coming back this week, though. I just saw he was at a concussion.
But yeah,
coming back.
and everybody was talking junk about him in the preseason, this and that. But Cody, you were vocal about it. I tried to hold back. On this because I don't claim to be an X and O guy, right? I don't claim to be a guy that can see the exact. I'm a guy that what I call the eyeball test guy.
Yeah.
And that is like I don't really know exactly what I can tell you is right or wrong, but I can tell you this is either right or wrong.
Right.
And that's how I felt with.
You can recognize bad. You just have to tell or figure out why.
Yeah, and so when it comes to that with Darrell Williams is that he was okay at right tackle. And I have said this over and over on this podcast that those numbers that Pro Bowl or whatever they said he should have made and the PFF, that I didn't see it as much as, I'm not saying he was bad that year, but I wouldn't have been like, this mug is going to dominate for the next 10 years after that season. And then on top of that, those traits that were beneficial to him on the right that were also, and the weaknesses, I felt like they could have been, I'll always have reservations in moving a right tackle to a left. I thought we had drafted Moton to be a left. That's what I thought he played in college. Maybe I was wrong about that. I thought he looked more like a prototypical. I think that Darrell Williams kind of looks like a guard at times. That
he's not agile enough to play tackle.
Right. So here's what are your thoughts on Darrell Williams? Because for me, I was hoping that they were going to. We said that. How many times did we say this? I hope it was going to be Greg Little, Darrell Williams, Matt Paradis, Trey Turner, Moton. That's what we thought. That's what I wanted.
And you know what? We need to, so it was obvious that Darrell Williams was just terrible on Thursday night. But we also need to.
He was okay on the first week.
We need to spread some criticism around too. I saw Trey Turner get beat up a little bit.
Yeah,
I saw Matt Paradis. Dude, there's plenty of bad to go around. Don't let Darrell Williams.
But that line was not as bad. Look, it was bad.
No,
it was bad, but it was enough to win. And even with Darrell Williams, I have seen worse lines for Cam Newton. I really thought. Tell me this. When you walked out, we were on the show on Thursday. We didn't even close till 3 fucking in the morning, and I had to go to work. What were we sitting here going that the real problem here was Cam Newton injury and the offensive line? I thought we just were going Cam Newton played terrible. And has that changed? Has your opinion changed since then?
Yeah, because that offensive line was not enough to do anything with. So we had a rusty Los Angeles Rams, and then a mediocre Tampa Bay defensive line where Shaquille Barrett looked like Von Miller. Our offensive line. I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but Darrell Williams is not agile enough to play left.
I agree with that.
Tackle.
I agree.
Or right tackle. Even when he was playing right tackle, we would put Greg Olsen or Manhurts over there all the time to help him block. It doesn't matter what side he's on. You do not put Darrell Williams on an island and ask him to shut down a defensive end. He's not reliable enough to do it.
I'm sad to say this.
Inside and go with Greg Little or... come on. What are we doing here? We're going to kill Cam Newton. We're determined as a franchise to murder whatever's left.
I'm sad to say this right now, but Justin Holbrook says this. Cam lying about his injury. He don't want to play.
A lot of people feel that way.
You
sort of feel that way, don't you?
I do. I kind of do, and I don't know if I'm not. I don't know if I'm ready to say he don't want to play. What I think Cam Newton has done is lost all confidence in himself. He's gone from a dude that never questioned his confidence to a guy that doesn't remember it. And I think, and this is where I want to give Ron Rivera the pass here, guys. I truly think he doesn't know what's going on.
Yep.
And if he did, we would have more of a plan.
Well, you look at Ken D in the chat, and he's saying, "What happened to Cam? Why did he lose his passion?" We can speculate on a lot of things, but the one thing we also forget too is these are people, and after they take the jerseys off and the pads off, they go home and live a life. And I don't know about y'all, but sometimes when I have something that frustrates me in one part of my life, I bring it into the other. Whether I want to or not, I bring work home sometimes.
Fantastic point.
And maybe
or home to work. Or home to work. Yes, home to work.
Exactly. I'm just speculating. I don't know that, but that may be part of what's going on. Or maybe he's frustrated with the fact that he can't get protection. The fact that he can't get the play calls that he wants. There's a ton of things that could be going on, but it's obvious that he is not happy. Because when he's happy, he has that smile, that $1 million smile that everybody loves, and he hasn't had that in a while.
Here's my comment on that is that my wife and I have been together since I was 19 years old, right? My wife is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And we have had a remarkable relationship that has been strong 98% of the time. Right. But there has been a moment or two in that where things got turbulent and I was shook.
Yeah.
And and I went to work, I physically went to work, right?
But you weren't meant to be there.
It's like I was a wreck inside. And I think that's a fantastic point. Can we just admit that these guys are not only football players, but they're also people, and there could be something. And I'm not saying that we should go and make that conclusion right away, but we should grant this, is that hey, if you're struggling with something in your own personal life, that affects your work life. Go ahead, Cody.
yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just, and I even said in the post game show, when it comes to Cam Newton, if you watch the newest video, the first half of the video is about him talking to the hat dude.
How do you defend that?
Listen, I never ever cared before. I never.
Yes, I'm the same way.
Ever cared before.
You had the best comment on Thursday. You can't come out like a fucking moron after the loss. Have a win. It was the best. It was the first time I got shook on the outfits.
I'm watching this video, and I'm like, Cam, I don't give a damn about what you're wearing, about what fashion you're trying to influence. Dude, I don't give a damn, man. How do you understand that right now people don't give a shit about what's going on in the fashion lobe of Cam Newton's brain, man? And that lends to people saying, is his head really into this? Does he want to do something else?
I think you're right. I cannot disagree with that, Cody. I cannot disagree with it.
If he does want to do something else, by all means, man. And listen, Lynn is shouting at the top of her lungs for us to acknowledge that he's about to have another child, apparently at any moment. Listen, if his head is not in football and you don't want to put your body through it, you want to do something else, by all means. But if you're not all in and focused on just football, then this is a derailed train that we're on.
So whoever his business manager is needs to come to him and tell him he has not made it yet to the point where he can do that. And what I mean by that is you cannot, like Cam cannot quit football today and be an influencer anymore.
Right.
Like he's an influencer right now because he has been a phenomenal football player. If he can reach legendary status, then yes, he can retire and be a fashion model and do whatever the fuck he wants and we'll all follow him. But if he quits this year, guys, and goes and becomes a fashion blogger, who the hell in 2 years is going to care about Cam Newton? And I hate to say it, that's the meanest thing I've ever said about my man, but you have, with a little bit of that video, from his perspective of like this and that, and like it was very, I never gave a shit, Cody. The best way. You put it great. You put it great. I never cared. In fact, I always was like this. You should be able to dress like a woman. You should be, look at my Cody, how did I show up to your fucking house?
With the scarf and the hat on, man. Onto Cam.
Yeah. So, no, I have never cared about it. You know what I care about now is this. The only thing I care about now is that is more intriguing to him than being great on the field. Or football. I mean, maybe not great. That's not the way I put it. Is that you have the worst fucking game of your career, professional career, collegiate career, junior college career, Pop Warner career, and you go and start the video with, oh, this was tough, me putting on my scarf. It's so hard to put on my grandma's scarf. And then all of a sudden we're fucking like, I look at magazines and I'm trying to, like, it was like, damn, Cam, like, save this video for another fucking day.
Yeah, it's tone deaf and listen, I want full Cam Newton or no Cam Newton at all. I'm not in the discount Cam Newton looking to just do just enough. I want baller.
Yeah.
Cam Newton. And if
I want alpha Cam. I want alpha Cam. I want Cam face, you know what? And
yeah, it's time.
Defenses.
If all of our fears are true, it's time to start looking for a new quarterback.
All right. Oh God! Don't say that. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Kendi in the chat. Hey, Kendi in the chat says if Kia's pregnant again, we know where Cam's head's been.
Well,
actually, no. I fully believe this is not his baby, and he watched. I really believe it, man.
Don't say that. That's a cut, right?
Is that messed up, Cody?
I think that's his point.
Too far?
Yeah.
Too far?
I think that's his point.
That's my point. That's my point. Oh, is that what he said? Did he say it or I said it? I thought I said it, but all right. Let's go.
It's AJ again. Now that I have vented with frustration, I will just talk for a minute.
It's all right. This is your
I
space.
give a round of applause.
It's a safe space.
Mr. Greg Olson, shall we? Because that son of a gun, and he showed up to play last night, and I'm thankful for that. He shouldn't have to do that much, but the man still has that want to about him. You know what I'm saying?
Who's he talking about? Cam?
There's not a whole lot of positives to go, except for we started this way before, and we turned it around, and I don't know if we're going to do it or not. I will say that. But you know what we're missing on this team? And I know before I say this, Cam is not throwing the ball good. I get it. I really do. But let's say Cam Newton is throwing the ball good. And let's say he is, even though he's not, he's sitting about 70% completion. He looks more like he did in the first half against the Rams, where he's just putting it on them in stride and stuff. You know, Cam's not comfortable right now. I don't think he trusts O-line. He hasn't played with those guys enough. And it looks like to me, when he's snapping the ball and he knows that he's not able to run yet, because his foot's still bothering him. He's planning and stepping with some throws, and he's not with others. And when he does not step with his throw and step towards the target like he's supposed to, the ball fails. It is that simple. When he steps towards the receiver when he's throwing, he makes a good throw. It is so easy. And I don't know why I'm talking like this. But anyway. Oh, yeah. So,
this is awesome. This is the best comment.
I like DJ Moore. DJ Moore is playing really good.
He's like, I don't even know why I'm making this call. I'm working through my feelings, motherfucker.
I like Curtis Samuel, but guess why I like Curtis Samuel?
Why?
I love Curtis Samuel in the slot.
Mm.
You know what we're missing? Like I said.
But I hate him in the you know what. In the.
Because even if he can't make the throw, at least this will be happening. Neither one of the receivers on our roster has that dog in them. That
I don't know. Maybe DJ does. DJ got it. He's just still a baby.
Necessarily while we're losing.
Yeah. He's just a baby still.
That they don't have that attitude in them of you're lining up across from me, but you can't handle me. And I'm
all right, so that's an interesting point. It might be a worthy. It's a very actually I think it's a very legitimate point, because if we look at DJ Moore, the real comparison to him is Steve Smith, right? It's like, but
I think it's only because Steve Smith made that comparison.
Yeah, I'm on Greg.
You think so? Do you think so?
Yeah.
Do you think that?
Yeah, I really do.
Is that I think their games are similar. I just think I think DJ Moore's body type was like Steve Smith's when he was 5 years into the league.
Yeah.
Not year one.
Yeah.
So I think he's like year 4 Steve Smith, not year 1 Steve Smith. But the major difference between the two is this. Is like Steve Smith like grew up in like Compton or something. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he grew up in like a damn.
He did grow up in California.
I just know this. Is Steve Smith was a dog.
Yeah.
You want to talk about what we were talking about with the alpha, the beta, the cuck, and all that stuff? Steve Smith ain't ever watched nobody touch his girl's titty. Never.
No.
Ask Ken Lucas.
From Los Angeles, by the way.
Ask Ken Lucas.
Los Angeles.
But that's a good question. What do you think about that? DJ Moore, does he got the dog? Curtis Samuel, great question. Curtis Samuel, is he too smooth and not doggish enough?
No, I'll be short and sweet with this. Curtis Samuel could have had over 150 yards if some of those passes were better. And I feel bad for Curtis because, he comes back is drafted, gets hurt, comes back, has a heart condition. Then they have to work him into the lineup, and they're playing him on limited snaps. When he does have the ball, he does look incredible. But now, in his third year, now he has all these issues at quarterback. I mean, I would say if any of our receivers had that dog in them, they haven't even had the opportunity to show you that they have it. That's my opinion. I'm a believer in Curtis Samuel. I believe he's a legitimate deep threat that you have to have in the NFL. DJ Moore has a ton of talent, but we haven't put them in a position to be able to show the full extent of their talent.
All right, next call.
Hey, Special K coming at you guys. This is what I got. Number one, Cam just not delivering the ball. We all know it. Guys were open a lot. He just wasn't delivering. Either he's totally broken physically or mentally, or he's going to bounce back.
Both.
You know, he's going to bounce back. He's going to be moving his feet. I think he's going to be better this week. That's what I'm thinking. Number two, the play
That's
call.
what I thought, too.
What they did, they set up a spotter on CMC, just like they used to do on Cam, right? They set up a spotter and said, watch this guy. This is where the offense is running. It's running through him. Stay with him. Always somebody floats with him. They did that. Cody is just like you say. The coaches don't adjust, right? They don't adjust. Instead of doing a little sleight of hand, hey, watch McCaffrey over here. Boom, here comes Orman bowling down the middle. They don't do that. Or here comes Scarlett sneaking off to the right. They don't do that. They don't adjust when those changes happen.
This is the call of the night. This is the call of the night.
Right? They watched it, and they saw that McCaffrey always runs in between the tackles and stuff on the right-hand side. And they just shut down that right-hand side, and that made it happen. Yeah. And Ron's just standing there like a statue. He's just standing there. He's not adapting. He's not doing anything. Cam's throwing twice as accurate on the left side than he is on the right, but you still have him throwing to the right. Adapt. Adapt. Third thing,
or fucking don't throw.
Cement shoes off. He's not moving. He's got to get the cement shoes off of him. Number four, you didn't do it last time, guys. Ice up. Dante Jackson. He's got to ice up for the next game.
What?
He's got to ice up. He's got to bring it. The defense.
I
love them, but they're still allowing those big plays right down the middle. Those big plays, those big running plays, they still allow it, just like they did last year. So the opposing offense knows they could do it. This is what I want you to do, Professor. I want you to put on that colorful man scarf on your head, and I want you to keep pounding, brother. Keep the faith. Thanks, guys.
Best call of the night. That's the best call of the night right there. I mean, and by the way, that call, we're in the calls right now. We're about to hit, and I'm going to play them all. And that is, we have played all of these. The calls right now are, guys, we're in the calls that are between Thursday and today. So thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, you can tell kind of the calls that have received today's news and the calls that haven't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can tell. And listen, I'm just happy.
That was a great call. Look, people are happy. Yeah, people are happy with that call. Let's see what we got next. Is this the same call?
This is Tyler from Spruce Pine. I'm the caller that called about, I would say, a month ago, maybe a little longer. Got ridiculed for criticizing Cam Newton. Well, not today. Because
he's like, I'm calling
his confidence is gone.
I mean, agreed.
In general, it doesn't matter what sport that you play. If you don't have confidence, you're good for nothing.
It's also in the sport of sex. Same thing.
Is I think it's time. I think David Tepper thinks it's time to start rebuilding. I'm not saying that we're
how. Well, you don't have any idea about that.
A little, I'm not that optimistic, honestly. But rebuild is just such a strong word. But I think when you're a new owner coming into a new franchise, David Tepper has said that he wants to follow Pittsburgh's model with where they keep a coach forever, pretty much to keep familiar faces around, I guess. Anyway, I get that. I understand that. But you also want to do that with your guys. And Rivera and Marty Herney are not his guys. So I'm not saying that Tepper is looking for a place to, I guess, fire them, saying, well, another losing season, you're gone. But this was an embarrassing performance. And if performances like this keep happening, I think Rivera's gone, I think Hurney's gone, and I think Cam's gone because Cam's contract's coming up. And
that's a good
Cam
call.
may be
This is a
gone
good
in the
call.
Next year, if he keeps playing like this all season, they may say goodbye
Susan's
to
in
him
the house.
this off season, and we may have to deal with 2 years of a sucky team to get a top 5 draft pick to get a quarterback in the draft. I'm not saying that's what David Tepper's plans are, but I'm saying that it's a possibility. But it's frustrating, man. I expected this year to be a decent year. I would have never expected Cam Newton to play like he did last time. But, it is what it is. It sucks, but we're used to going through trying times as Panther fans, so we're just going to have to endure some more. But anyways, thanks, guys. Keep pounding.
Look, my man said he got ridiculed on the podcast, but this is a good call right there. That's a good call. It's a legitimate call right there. At the end of the day, how does Tepper deal with this? Really important, and it's going to be hard to tell.
I've been saying. This is Tyler again. I just had some more to add.
Come on, Tyler. I'm gonna bounce you out of this one.
What I want to talk about is a coaching change, and I really think that is a huge possibility in the future. I think it will be after the season ends, but let's face it, Norv Turner, I'm not saying that he was bad, because a lot of those plays could have been executed.
They worked. That's where I'm not bad on. I'm not down on.
We're outdated. I think that Norv Turner's system worked in the 90s and early 2000s, maybe.
All right, I'm gonna shut this call down there, not because it's a bad call, but because it's 11:40 and we got to keep going. But the question is there, Cody. I'll give that to you. You have been very critical of Norv Turner.
Yeah.
I am on the opposite realm. And the reason I am that is that how can you truly judge anybody when you can't do basic things? And here is that is where I've been weirded out by the Cam Newton injury is this. If Cam Newton is truly injured, is it foot? Is it arm? Is it foot arm? Is it hand, foot, mouth? Like every kid gets, that was a joke. But the point being is this is like you should ultimately be able as an offensive quarter to somewhat say, all right, my guy's limited. We're not going to be running RPOs a lot. We're going to try to do it a different way. My guy can't throw down the field. We're not going to. Cam can't just. In the last game, he couldn't do regular shit. It would be like this. It would be like if you said this is the offensive coordinator was bunk as a motherfucker, and he told the guy to hand the ball off, and he ate a sandwich.
But listen, we're having two different conversations because we're not disagreeing that Cam Newton was trash on Thursday night. But we're not judging Norv Turner based on one performance. We're basing it on the man Norv Turner. We're basing it on
two
Norv
performances.
Cam's performance.
Two. You're judging it on two. You can't go.
I'm not. I'm judging it on Norv Turner with the Chargers, Norv Turner with the Cowboys, Norv Turner that was.
He won like 2 Super Bowls with the Cowboys.
Okay, and what has he done since then, though? And then he went to Minnesota, and at Minnesota he ended up quitting the job
because he had Sam Bradford. Wouldn't you quit if you had Sam Bradford? I would quit too.
No, they had Bridgewater before Bridgewater got hurt. My point is this: Norv Turner is not some offensive mastermind. Norv Turner isn't out thinking Wade Phillips on defense. Norv Turner has never been that, and it seems that now that he's under Ron Rivera, who at one point in time Ron Rivera was under him, I believe in San Diego. Now you have a system where Ron Rivera never makes adjustments, and now Norv Turner is content with having a game plan and adhering to that game plan forever and never changing it. I'm not a believer in Norv Turner. He's never given us a reason to believe in him based on his other times with other teams. And now I'm not a believer in Norv Turner.
Next call.
Hey guys, Josh from Math. I've had a couple days and a long drive home to really sort my thoughts on Thursday night's performance. And while I think a lot of us are ready to shoot Cam in the head, and rightfully so, you have to excuse the noise. I'm walking my dog. I think Thursday night was a culmination of a few problems, right? Listen, hear me out. Hear me out.
Yeah.
So it was a short week after putting up what was a pretty goddamn good fight against the Rams. But I also feel like there's very conservative play calling. Come on, bud. Going on. And I don't think Cam's foot is healed fully after what happened. And I think the heat had a part in it as well. You know, it was a hot, humid night. Not making excuses. It's just a matter of what happened. You know, and then the O-line letting not only Cam but the entire offense down. That doesn't help either. So I think it was just really a combination of factors, all kind of compiling with the fact that it's a short week, and historically, we don't perform on short weeks. We don't perform on Thursday night. And I'm not just talking about last year on Thursday against the fucking Steelers. I'm talking historically, we just don't do well. For a laundry list of reasons. You know, so after a couple days and a long car ride to think about it, yes, Cam's to blame for some of this, but I think the play calling, the heat, and the fact that he's not fully healed are major factors in why the performance is what it was. And I'm about 10 seconds out from my time limit cut out, so I'll be calling you back in a minute.
Well, you're gonna skip. We're gonna skip you. All right, because we're regressing back into Thursday. Josh from Mass, you're the man, but it's like 12 o'clock. We're gonna skip a couple calls.
Hey, what's up, fellas? This is AJ again. I know I called a few days ago. Already had 2 calls. So now this is the third. But anyway, man, I've been laughing so hard from this morning just listening to the post-game show. Like, y'all have me going. But anyway, I just want to call because I said this to someone a few days ago, and I haven't really got it out there too much. But with Cam Newton, you know, he's having some big-time issues right now. And, well, he's getting burnt for the way he's dressing. Cody, you were right. You don't go to the podium like that after a just poor performance. But anyway, I'm going to get off that. You know, one thing we got to consider with Cam right now, I know he's not running, and I really don't know why. I don't know if maybe his foot still is hurting him. I don't know. But anyway, you know, with him changing his throwing mechanics, you know, we got, and I hate to say this, I hate to be this person, but you've got to give this man time to hone in on his mechanics of his new throwing delivery. I mean, it's nothing, it's similar to, you know, a golfer changing a golf swing. I mean, it takes like a year before they get that right. Or a NBA player, college player changing their jumper. It takes time. And Cam really hasn't thrown that much. I mean, he's worked on it, but he hasn't really worked on it. I know he's never been the most accurate passer, but at the same time, even when Cam was at his best here, we always had garbage receivers that would drop the ball anyway. Nobody ever talked about that hardly. But I mean, with that being said, that's all I'm saying is that, you know, maybe it's all in his head because he's changed and he's trying to stay in that movement that he's doing, and it's just not working. And until it clicks, I think this is just what we want to see. And that's all I got. All right, let's see what happens this week against Arizona. Maybe we can jump up on them. I don't know. We better get to Kyle Murray because he's just pulling crap out of his tail lately. Anyways, all right, man. Later.
All right. Last call tonight.
Hello, CP3 Pod. What's
Colton,
up, brother?
what's up, brother?
What's up, Professor? What's up, Cody? And our guest, and anyone else member of the CP3 fam. This is Carl D. calling. I called last
Carl.
week, Tony.
Carl's my soul brother.
I missed the show, but when I was watching the replay, I'm not sure if my call went through. But anyway, I'm calling in tonight. I'm gonna start doing a segment that I'm gonna start calling these the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's start with the good. My good is, well, the only really good in that Tampa Bay game to me was Burns. I know I top pick, yeah. I mean, you know, defense to me didn't do that good, but Burns was a bright spot on there. So, I mean, once again, Burns getting another sack. That's the good. Now, let's go to the bad. The bad is going to be the defense. I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, the defense did good." I wouldn't say the defense did that good. The reason the defense get a bad, one, the pass rush was not really that consistent, and the run, once again, defense getting gashed by runs. It just seems like every team's running back we played this last year just seems to be 100-yard rusher on us. I don't know why. But anyway, and also the bad for the defense, Jameis Winston with 100% passer rating. Are you kidding me? And the defense get a pass? Oh, no.
Your boy Jonte got burned. All right. That's it.
Yeah.
Here, we're going to end the calls for tonight on that. I mean, because he's probably coming back. Actually, I think that's it. That's it. There's been 25 calls. We may have went through 22 of them, guys. What a tremendous show so far. We're talking, and I know you guys are like, tremendous being long as shit. But we've gone 3 hours, and you know what? People have been engaged the whole time. They've been in the chat room. They've been calling to Cat Calls Line. They've been smashing that thumbs up button. And I am so thankful that people will hang out with us through thick or thin and deal with this. Because guess what we're going to do? We're going to keep pounding. That's very simple as this. As the Panthers can win 0 games for the rest of the season, and guess where we're going to be at on Tuesday nights? Hanging out here, figuring it out. Do we like what's going on? Hell no. Do we want Cam Newton to be done? Nope. We want Cam Newton hoisting that Lombardi more than anybody, don't we, Cody?
Absolutely, man. That's why we'll run long, almost 3 hours, talking about it over and over and telling how much we love Cam Newton. But, just trying to listen, we're navigating these murky waters just like all of you are, man. We want the best for our team, the best for our quarterback. And we're going to be here every Tuesday night and after the game to do exactly what we're doing right now.
All right, quick picks. Greg, who the heck? Obviously, we play the Cardinals this week. Who do you got? Because last week, and the reason I asked this, and I'm putting you on the spot, is we did all our picks last week. Cody was ahead of us. Cody was 3-0 after last week. Tony was 2-1. Greg 1-2. things have changed since then. I haven't calculated it yet, but who do you got? Panthers versus Cardinals.
You have no volume, Greg. I don't know what.
Cody, you go. Cody, who do you got?
Yeah. So, listen, I'm gonna keep it 100. If we're starting with Kyle Allen, I don't know. I don't. How can I pick this offense to do what's necessary to win when I haven't seen enough from Kyle Allen? I'm gonna go 21-17 Arizona.
God, how do you do that on this podcast? I do not know.
It's not what I want, but it's what I think.
Right. I mean, this is tough. Hobble Cam versus, and one of the things that I think about in this game, I'm actually with you, Cody. I think you might be right for this reason, is that I secretly wanted to pick the Falcons against the Eagles. Right? Because because I fucking hate the Falcons. And the Eagles I thought were better, and then people were hating, you know what I'm saying? So I do let my emotion dictate my picks. I do. Like, I have these kind of, but I also think they're kind of hunches. And I think that, and my hunches here is that, like, the Panthers win this game, and then maybe something good comes out of it down the road. But the Panthers lose this game, and it's fucking a wash, brother.
Yep. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
No. Yep.
So I don't want to do this. I don't know. Is that Kyle Allen in this defense? I'm going to say they pull it out. I'm going to pick the Panthers because I'm not giving up yet. But I fully 100% understand your position, Cody. Greg, who you got?
I'm 1-5 this season so far in our little pool, so I'm not doing very well. But I think I'm going to take the Panthers in this one too, just because I'm a homer. And
yeah, I think our defense wins this. What we continue to say is that hey, actually Kyle Allen could have won against the Bucs, not because he's better than Cam, but a couple of complete passes actually help us so much.
Or quarterback sneak. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Who are the Falcons playing? Does anybody know?
I'm looking at that right now.
Thank you, because I didn't look it up.
They're playing the Colts.
I got the Falcons. I think the Falcons are about to turn around stuff, sadly. Is that people keep telling me that they don't see a lot on their team. I'm picking the Falcons. I think they do have a lot of talent on their team. They just have not had chemistry yet. I think they start to... Last week was their effort, like we have seen with the Panthers, where we have said so many times, you have to learn how to win. And I think the Falcons learned last week. I'm picking the Falcons. And it's easy because it's Colts.
Greg, who you pulling for, man? Or who you have?
I'm actually going to take the Colts in this one. I think not Bridgewater. Brisket.
Yeah, Brisket. I love Brisket. Brissett.
They call him Brisket on the ATL podcast.
I love it. That's fine. Let's go with it.
Yeah. I think he's an underrated, I guess, starter now. He's not a backup anymore.
Yeah.
And they have a couple weapons with Marlon Mack and T.Y. Hilton, I think, and they have a pretty decent defense. So
they kind of put up some fight, didn't they, in the last couple of weeks?
They're a decent team, man. They got a decent shot of winning that division.
I hate them.
So.
All right. Well, I also hate the Falcons, so I hope you're right. I got the Falcons. Cody, you got?
Yeah, I have the no, my bad. I have the Colts 28-27.
I'm making a game up.
Falcons are going to be winning the whole game, and the Colts are going to come back at the last minute at home, take a field goal, and win.
Just like last week, yeah.
Who's Tampa Bay got?
Tampa Bay's got the Giants.
Oh God, Daniel Jones first start. Where's it at? Is it in Tampa or is it in New York?
In New York, I believe.
I'm taking the Giants.
No. Actually, there's no way it's in New York. That can't be three away games for Tampa Bay
Really?
to start out. It's got to be in. It's got to be in Tampa Bay.
Check it. Somebody check. I'll check it. You guys, who you got? I got the Giants so far. If it's at home.
Yeah, I'm
It's Giants at Bucks.
Giants at
which actually their home field advantage is 0.
Yeah. You know what? I might take Tampa.
I think you're with. I'm with you. I think Tampa catches some momentum with us. I'm with you. I'm with you.
27-24, Tampa Bay.
Giants. Ken D says Giants at Bucks 3-3 tie. That's awesome. That's fucking awesome right there. Greg, who you got?
You know what? Just 'cause I'm so far behind y'all, I got to go Giants. Just because, I got to catch up.
You cannot do that. It's so early. Oh, that's
it's
panic.
So early, but I'm already
Panic.
I'm
with Cody.
They've got some weapons. They can win this game.
Maybe. I'm with Cody. I think they catch win there. All right.
Then we have Saints at Seahawks.
Ugh. There's another game. I'm going Seahawks. The Seahawks are always good. Those assholes, no matter how putrid their offensive line is, no matter how terrible all their free agent, whatever it is, they are still in games every week. Every week they're in it. Every week. I'm going Seattle Seahawks. I think I picked against them. Did they beat the Bengals last week?
They did.
And I was like, the Bengals at I picked the Bengals. I'm done picking against the Seahawks. I picked the Seahawks.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Seattle. I'm gonna say 27-17.
Okay. We'll do a clean sweep. I'll say Seattle too. And it hurts me to say that because my thing with Seattle is, and everybody, at the Bet 852 about this, I know people are going to be pissed. Russell Wilson is what Cam Newton was supposed to be. I'm sorry, but he is. He's he's less than Cam Newton was supposed to be.
I've been a Russell Wilson defender. I think he's one of the elite quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm not a Russell Wilson hater.
Yeah, he's a top 5 quarterback every year, no matter what he has.
He's a baller, hands down.
Yeah, he really is.
Then you actually are a Christian, Cody.
I'm a Christian?
Yeah, turns out you believe in Jesus because Russell Wilson has been assisted by Jesus the entire time. He loves Jesus. He throws up prayers, and they were answered. So Cody became a Christian on this show. I'm telling you.
Baptized in the water, baby.
Told you. That is actually a funny ending. We got to do this. We got to get to our
Ice up
picks. All right. My ice up pick, I'm going to go first. My ice up pick goes to this guy. His name is, you can find him on Twitter at.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to.
At Tobin, Tobbin, Israel. Like, at Tobin, Israel. So I guess his name is Tobin Israel, or he's Jewish. Either way, this is not anti-Semitic, folks. His other name is Picture Me Trolling. And don't worry, I didn't have to picture you trolling, asshole. I saw you trolling. I put up a tweet that said this, is that it may be time for the Panthers to call Cap. And then somebody said, hey, honestly, there's zero downside in it. I mean, Jesus, what the hell is going to happen? And this is what my man said. He said, yeah, brilliant. Let's call a guy that used, and by the way, he said a capital, a guy that, and he should have said who used to be. So there's my second ISO pick. Let's call a guy that used to suck and hasn't played in 2 years and bring him into an offense that takes 2 years to learn. Casual fans are clowns. Number one is this. It don't take no fucking 2 years for an NFL quarterback to learn Norv Turner's offense. It's all crossing routes and fucking stretch one way. Like, shut up. Number two, calling me a casual fan really fucking irritated me on the day that Cam Newton fucking basically announced that he was mentally broken. This fucked with me today, guys. I was so angry. I was like, motherfucker, casual fan? Have you not seen my profile pic where I'm fucking dressed as Auntie Cam? Is that casual, mug? Have you not seen that I paid $250 a ticket and brought my wife and all this, and we were on the Jumbotron on Fox and all this in 2012 when we played Peyton Manning? We got carved the fuck up. Have you not seen that my wife bought me a Cam Newton jersey before my man ever played a snap? Like it was the best fucking gift I ever had. So to you, asshole, if I'm a casual fan, then your fat ass is sitting on your couch eating Cheetos in your underwear, fucking watching bullshit XFL, AFL. Screw you. I'm not a casual fan. If this is a casual fan, it's been 3 hours, bitch ass. We've been talking about the Carolina Panthers for 3 hours.
You didn't even say anything about your show either with not being a casual fan.
Exactly. Jesus Christ. If this is casual, I don't know what is serious. So to you, sir, and and here's the real ISO pick. I forgot to bring the truth, guys. In his profile, it says, I am an anti-social justice warrior. What the fuck does that mean, man?
Yeah.
You hate social justice? Is that what that means? I'm anti-social justice? That's like saying I hate truth. I hate love. I hate... Do you hate when things go right? Do you hate when you see wrongs go righted? You're like this.
Stop letting people not help.
Yeah,
you know?
It's like this. I love how that guy got fucked. I love how he got fucked up. Yeah, love it. Love it. So to you, asshole, ice up.
Ice up.
Greg, you want to jump in?
I can take the next one.
I just drank a 9% beer before that, so I'm feeling it.
Well, let me drink.
Mm-hmm.
Let me crack this one open because for me, I've been thinking about this all week. Or not all week, for a couple days. Well, I guess all week because week started Sunday. I am icing up. I don't know if y'all watched the Eagles-Falcons game on Sunday. Great game. Fun to watch just because Sunday Night Football, it's the only thing you're going to watch. I'm icing up Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth, who commentated that game, because I'm watching this game, and throughout this whole game, I've got to sit through them talking about how great Carson Wentz is doing, what a great player he is. Same with Matt Ryan. Oh, my gosh. And one point where Al Michaels, where Carson Wentz throws his first touchdown in the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, I can't remember. But at that point, he's like 7 for 19 for less than 100 yards and throws his first touchdown. And Al Michaels says, I can't wait to watch the replay of this game later when they're doing the slow motion with the music, talking about how great these players are. What the hell is he talking about? If Cam Newton does that, they're trashing him the whole time. And then Chris Collinsworth, when Matt Ryan throws the interception in the end zone, and Chris Collinsworth says, oh, something must have happened. There's no way Matt Ryan would ever do something like that. He wouldn't make a throw like that into triple coverage and throw an interception in the end zone.
Yeah, he would. He does it every week, asshole. Every week.
Why do these players get the privilege to not be criticized for that kind of stuff, but Cam Newton doesn't? Like, you look at their stats. Matt Ryan was 27 of 43, which is not much better than 50%. And Carson Wentz was 25 of 43, which is not much better than 50%.
Bring this
both
truth,
for
Greg.
less yards than Cam Newton did. And both of them threw more than 2 interceptions. But nothing is said about that. So to Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth, ice the hell up, man, because that is garbage.
And I like those dudes. I'm not going to lie. Actually,
I like those.
I'm one of the few people that likes Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah, I do too. I like him too.
I'm one of the few. People hate him. But, all right, Cody, who you got?
Yeah, so I'm going to jump in here and just cast a very wide net. To every general manager in the NFL right now that doesn't seem to understand the concept of putting talented players around your rookie quarterback. I'm looking at Deshaun Watson running for his life We just had Ed on tonight talking about Kyler Murray not being defended by a trash offensive line. And now Panther fans are at a moment that we have feared forever, where we are questioning the future of Cam Newton as a football player. And that was a doomsday scenario before the start of this season. And now it's staring us right in the face. If you're a general manager or an owner that does not understand how to protect the talented football players that people will buy tickets to watch and come and support and watch on television, if you're not doing your due diligence for your quarterback, you're making the NFL a worse place. To everyone that has underserviced Cam Newton in his time being here, I wish you a cold ice up song.
That's awesome. I heard Roman Harper say this when someone brought up the stat about like Cam's played with 7 different left tackles over the last 7 years. Roman Harper was on the team 2 years ago, right? I mean, it wasn't that long ago.
3.
And he, oh, is it okay? So was Chris Clark last year? He must have been. He said this. They said, and Chris Clark and Roman Harper said, "Who's that?" Like, damn.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Same, brother. That's what we were saying. All right. You're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast. It's 3 hours plus of the best Panthers talk that you would get or not get had you not listened. You can listen to the team website, and they put out a podcast intermittently. But these jokers, these 3 jokers right here, are bringing it to you on Tuesdays live, and we keep going. We keep going until you will not listen anymore. We keep going until you listen more. That's my thing. We keep going until you listen more. My name's Tony Dunn. Go ahead and smash the thumbs up button. Call into the Cat Calls line. The number's 252-228-5098. Think about buying a shirt. Look, we got these Keep Pounding shirts on. They're pretty dope. Let me ask you this, Greg. Are they cheap? Wait. The price, not the price. I didn't mean that. Does it feel cheap on your body?
Yeah, I know what you meant. No, definitely. I have 2 of the I have 2 of one shirt, and then I have one of the I Stand With Cam shirts. I have one of the C3 repeats, and now this new one. So I have 5 altogether. I love these shirts. They are so comfortable. And I get tons of people ask me about it whenever I wear them out because they're, one-of-a-kind shirts. So I definitely recommend it. It's well worth the money. Great T-shirts. Actually, just join the Fantasy League, and then you want to worry about buying one. It's part of the entry fee. So,
all right, Cody, where can they find you?
At CODYLAC on Twitter. Listen, whenever there's football, Panthers football, just about any kind of football, I'm probably live tweeting it and talking a bunch of shit. So,
are you going to keep coming on the show if it's this long?
You know what, man? I mean, so many people know who I am now and hit me up, and I've met so many cool people. You know what? Fuck it, man. Let's go another hour, dude. I'm down.
Damn right. You said it. All right, Greg, tell them where they can find you, and I'm ready to come on your show, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dude, that almost didn't sound right.
It almost didn't.
I'm going to come on Cody first. I'm going to come on Cody first, and then I'm going to go on your show. Yeah. You're right. That was a little me. It was a little, you do the C-O-M, not the C-U-M, brother. The drunkenness.
You can find me at the Bad Daddy 52 on Twitter. I also run another podcast. It is the Super Civil Servants Podcast. It's at SCS Podcast 1 on Twitter. The professor is going to be with me this weekend, and it is going to be a super Civil Servants podcast because I'm going to have a mailman, a garbage man, a professor, and a principal on the show, and we're going to be talking about a 1990s Ninja Turtles movie. So,
what's better than that, brother?
Kind of stuff, check us out. Check us out. We're going to have a great time. It might be kind of a 2.5-hour show for us too, but it's a fun time. Hit us up.
I am taking notes. I'm ready to go on the show. I'm ready. All right. You're listening to the C3 Panthers podcast. Thank you for your time. We'll see you next Tuesday night. Remember, thumbs up, share, subscribe. Grow Panther Nation. And I won't say it's going to be all right, but we'll be here with you throughout it all.
Keep pounding.
Keep pounding, folks.
If I can